Okay, everybody, for the last few days, we've been getting a slow drip of each of the K-Pop Demon Hunter skins that are supposed to come out tomorrow, and finally, they've given us the full trailer for the big collab. Why don't we check it out right now? I've already seen this, but I want to go over it with you guys. And hopefully, the copyright system doesn't get me, because this is definitely the perfect song for this trailer. How it's done. Dude, I can't believe how fast they've got this collab in the game. A lot of interesting choices here, and what a trailer. So we're going to go back over this and look at these things. First of all, I've got to say, as we watch this part, the scene in the movie of them jumping out of the plane after the demons have torn it in half, every time I see that, all I can think of is that is Fortnite inspired. Has to be. Because it looks just like jumping out of the battle bus. And I don't know. I have no idea how long this movie has been in production. No idea how long they worked on it. But Fortnite came out in like 2018, I think, officially released. Maybe it was a little bit before that. This is the 8th. We just passed Fortnite's 8th birthday. So 8 whatever is minus whatever's now 2025 minus 8 is what? 2017? I don't know. Anyway, that scene always just reeked of me of like, let's do a little bit of love for Fortnite here. And that's made me wonder, if this movie was made after Fortnite exploded and became big, was there some intentional inspiration here? Did they really maybe, say like, let's make this look like we're jumping out of the battle bus? Like, that would be kind of cool. And maybe this will encourage Epic to reach out to us and get a Fortnite collab deal going. I don't know, just some food for thought. But either way, when I knew they were doing this collab, I knew they had to do a scene of them jumping down, and I'm so glad it made its way in. Interesting here, if you look at this wide shot as they're headed down to the island. I'm trying to figure out where this is. That looks like over here on the top right-hand corner, like it should be the maybe the place where the dill pickle, the cucumber farm was. One of these maps here, mountains here. Maybe this is where Supernova Academy was. I mean, I don't know if this is going to be an original map or not. I mean, it could be. It could be a map made specifically for the Demon Rush mode. I didn't think about that, but they usually just use the Battle Royale map, so I don't know. It could just be a complete just custom thing for this. So here we see them. They've dropped down to the island. They've got their weapons. It's a great shot. Of course, this is CG. This is not part of the game, but they look good there. And here we've got Rumi coming down. Yeah, that looks like this is over by yeah, I know where this part is. Anyway, Rumi's got her sword. And from what I've read of the leakers, this is going to be the sword at the end of the movie. Spoiler alert! At the end of the movie, Rumi's sword gets bigger and she becomes more powerful. So you're going to be wielding that version of the sword in the game. So that's interesting. Here's Zoey. And everybody was talking about how bad the skins looked. Based on the renders. First of all, they were comparing the renders to official promotional art put out by Netflix for the movie that was highly stylized, and if you compare what the characters look like in the actual film to that key promotion art, they don't look anywhere near the same. But if you compare the Fortnite renders to the actual movie footage, then they look closer. So the Fortnite collab looks more like the movie than the official key art for the film, for the actual film did. So that's interesting. But I don't know. I think people just wanted this to be a really good collab, and with how short of amount of a time that it was, or whatever choice of words I just said there, considering how short the amount of time between this movie dropping in, what was it, June, and now the first day of October. How fast this collab has come together, which I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this was probably in the works before the movie dropped. They probably already had a few deals on the table and were like, look, we're gonna start working on these assets. If this thing proves to be a success, we'll go ahead and, you know, finish it off, and we'll wrap it all up in a pretty bow, and we'll present it as a part of Fortnitemares. Now, how specific these deals got, who knows? Only the insiders at Netflix would know that, and Sony and Epic. And what it's worth is, I was reading an article about this collab earlier before I sat down to record this, and apparently on the inside, Netflix and I guess the studio that actually animated this, they consider K-Pop Demon Hunters to be their Frozen. That is what they are referring to it as internally. So if you remember how much Disney pushed Frozen and it was everywhere, this is going to be their version of that. And you know what? I know people got sick of Frozen quick. I can't say that I didn't like Let It Go when it first came out, and I thought it was a great song. I understood it. I got annoyed when they started trying to shove Do You Want to Be a Snowman into like Christmas playlists. I hated that. Anyway, this looks cool. Here we've got Zoey. She's got something with her. Check it out. It's a shield bubble that's golden with the patterns for the home moon. So they have created a custom-made version of the shield bubble, or the bubble shield, whatever, for this mode, for this collab, and I think it's pretty cool. I mean, they're not really doing anything new here, and I don't know how different Rumi's sword is going to be, because we've had swords in the game. I don't know I can't remember if this is, if like the Typhoon Blade that we had in Season 1 earlier this year had these same animations to it. Could be, but they may have decided to actually give her an original weapon here, instead of this just being like a reskinned bubble shield. That's all that is. Now let me go back before we move on to Mira's part. First of all, look at them. Everybody was talking about how, oh dude, they look so chopped, and their faces just look so off, dude. And I'm sitting there looking at these two, which I'm assuming these will be the NPC versions of them that you will be able to hire in Demon Rush mode. That's what I'm guessing, because they're doing their poses here, but they shouldn't be doing those poses. Anyway, yeah, they're just standing there. I don't know exactly how this is going to work as a game mode, but yeah, they look fine. I don't see anything wrong with them. The item shop renders for them probably do look a little wonky, because they have no lighting effects added to them. Versus here in the game that actually does have lighting, they look fine. So I mean, I think people sometimes don't think they don't think their opinions all the way through, and so I don't know. They look perfectly fine. I mean, they're not gonna be exactly the same, because the movie, they have more freedom to change their animations, their facial expressions. They can break the rules. If you've ever seen any behind the scenes of how they do animated films, where even, I think, what was it, Encanto, they showed how they got a shot of, oh God, what was her name? Anyway, they showed how they took that character and they had to elongate her arms and make her hands huge to get that shot. I mean, and this is the same for video games that have like big cinematic things. Like even Dragon Ball FighterZ, they had to break some of the characters to show how they do that. Like the scene of when Master Roshi gets a dramatic finish and he beats an opponent with the Mafuba and seals them away in that tiny little jar. I think, if I remember right, Master Roshi, only his arm is animated in that because it's an extreme close-up of his hand, and the rest of him is in a T-pose. But you don't see that because of the camera placement. So that's how they do that stuff in the films, and therefore they can get away with changing things. In this game, they don't have that. They don't have that. So the character has to be programmed as you see them. So I think people just need to really step back and think about the limitations here of what they can do with these skins versus what they wish they could do. But anyway, I think the skins all look good. Something I wasn't expecting here is they brought back I think it was called the Void Mask from Season 1. So back in Season 1, there were different mask mythic weapons that you could get. One would shoot fireballs at opponents, and the other one would allow you to teleport. You would shoot out a portal, and then once the portal landed on the ground and took shape, I don't know what word I was looking for there, you could press the trigger button again, and it would teleport you to that portal. So they've reskinned that here after, I think his name is Derpy, the blue tiger from the movie. That's a cool callback here. They've changed the visual effects for it. I mean, he teleports. So it's a cool little thing to bring in. Another way to just add another element from the movie to this mode. And here they've added the Ramian. They're little snacks, and for the actual game item, it's Mira's. So I'm guessing this is going to give you like the heat effect that will allow you to run faster, especially because they're animated eating it very quickly, which is just taken straight from the movie. So that's funny, and they glow red. So I imagine you'll get to run faster. Maybe it will eat up less stamina. So that would be pretty cool. And here we have the official promo shot here for the collab, and people were saying they changed the skins. I hate to break this to you, for those of you who hate those renders of the skins that they released, but this is just the skins. They're stylized for this promotional art. They're not gonna look like this in the game. The colors here that everybody said, oh, they look so badly, they look so washed out. They just mimicked the same coloring from the official Netflix film promotion art for it. I mean, that's all this is. It's meant to make them look prettier, just for this one piece. So, like I said, we just saw, they're gonna look fine in the game. Just the renders that you're gonna see in like your locker or in the item shop when you're looking, they're not gonna look like they look here. This was made, these are tweaked just for this piece. And they're not gonna be this expressive in the game. I mean, there will be some expression because of all the emotes and stuff, and they'll program them to do what they need to do. But yeah, this looks perfectly fine. And I don't know what else to say. I have been reading the leaks though, and from what I know that the leakers have said that we're going to be getting, obviously Mira, Zoey, and Rumi all coming together in, I guess, a big bundle. Their pickaxes will be their weapons that they're holding, so that's cool. Their back blings are their Ramian. So Mira's Ramian will be an item in the game that you can use, but it will also be a back bling. I'm not a big fan of random back blings that, you know, don't look like they belong as part of an outfit. Like, if it's just an object floating, like, I don't want to have just a cup of Ramian floating off of their backs. I'm not doing that. I'll do without putting the back bling on. But that's just me. But we are getting supposedly 3 emotes. One is confirmed to be Zoey's double thumbs up that she does in the movie. A lot of people have been using that as a reaction gif. That's funny. Supposedly, one of the leakers I saw said we're getting a golden emote. That would be great. And I believe I saw someone else say that the other emote will be a how it's done. And I don't know why you wouldn't do that song. They just used it in this trailer. But the one big bummer that I saw in the leaks is that apparently no jam tracks. And that one baffles me because one of the big appeals of this movie is its music. Like 3 songs, I think, right now are like in the top 10 on like the music charts. And all of the songs from the film have placed well on those charts. Like everybody is raving about the music. Golden is like the song of the summer. Like, Golden is such a hit that I think it's on October 7th. The singers for the characters in the movie that actually, like, you know, that sung the songs in the movie are going to be performing Golden for the first time on Jimmy Fallon. Like, they're bringing this song to Fallon. That's how big it is. So, I don't know, unless they've not had enough time, I guess, to make the jam track work for Fortnite Festival, or in the game to function like that. But I at least would have liked them to be included as lobby tracks. I know they don't do that anymore. Any music they add to the game is instantly a jam track that works within Fortnite Festival and in Battle Royale as a jam emote. So it is disappointing to see that you won't be able to have those in there. Now, I will say that I fully expect them to bring those songs to the game whenever those are ready. And who knows, maybe by the end of Fortnitemares, they will add those to the game. Because from what I understand, these items should be in the game throughout the rest of the season. So when Season 4 ends, when Fortnitemares wraps up, and then we move into the confirmed now, officially confirmed by the leakers themselves, the next season being a mini-season for The Simpsons. I think that these items will be in the game for the rest of the month. But, so there's still plenty of time to get some KPop Demon Hunters jam tracks into the game before we head over to Springfield. But what do you guys think? How are you feeling about this collab? What are you most excited about? Are you excited for the skins? Are you excited for Demon Rush? Are you disappointed in the lack of jam tracks? What about the lack of Saja Boys? Apparently, we're not getting any Saja Boys, at least yet. I fully expect them to at least give us a Genu skin at some point. Whether that's this year or not, maybe we'll have to wait until Chapter 7. But Netflix is gonna ride this wave as long as they possibly can. Disney did it with Frozen. They're gonna do it with K-Pop Demon Hunters. And it just blows my mind that, you know, the more I've watched of this movie, the more I listen to the music, the more I like it. It's the exact opposite of when I watched, and I've said this before, when I watched the Lilo and Stitch live action remake from Disney. I watched that once and I never want to watch it again. With this, I want to see more of the K-Pop Demon Hunters. I want to see, they're supposedly, I don't care for the live action remake that they're supposedly going to make, but they're talking about a sequel. They're talking about more video game deals. I'm sure Fortnite's not the only place we're going to see these characters pop up, and they'll probably end up eventually getting their own game. If Miraculous Ladybug got its own game, they could do the same with this. But, anyway, it just blows my mind that right now in the game, the day before this big update is live, the Power Rangers are in the game. You can still drop in right now and pilot the Megazord. And, you know, there's also that SpongeBob Tycoon level that's going on right now where you can go and build up the Krusty Krab and even fight Plankton piloting his giant robot mech. So we've got so many characters in this game. And just last season, we had the big superhero collab. Superman was flying around on the map. And then in the last week or week and a half of that season, they brought back Dragon Ball. They didn't bring any new cosmetics, but for about 10 days or so, the Superman Mythic and the Kamehameha were in the game at the same time, and people were playing out Superman versus Goku in Fortnite. So to go from that to Power Rangers, to K-Pop Demon Hunters being the big focus of Fortnitemares, and then once this wraps up, it's The Simpsons. Like, the collabs that we've gotten, and just this season as well, like, I'm going off on a tangent, I know, but Beavis and Butthead, last season it was like Bob's Burgers and The Cleveland Show and King of the Hill, and there's just been so many collabs, and they seem like in Fortnitemares, like the big collab I thought it was going to be Scooby-Doo, and that's still coming too. We've seen nothing from that collab yet, so I'm just really excited. I think that this could very well end up being the best Fortnitemares ever, and I'm not just talking because there are a ton of collabs and they're so all over the place, but I do think that if everything plays out well, if all of the characters look cool, if the weapons are fun to use in this K-Pop Demon Hunters collab, if it all works out as well as I'm hoping, I do think this will be the best Fortnitemares that I've ever played. But what do you guys think? I know I asked this already, but let me know in the comments how you feel about this collab. Thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you liked the video, then please subscribe to my channel and hit that like button if you haven't already. Now, I'm going to go and see what else I can find out about this collab. And maybe, just maybe, one of the leakers will find out that there will be some jam tracks. Maybe not right away, but maybe they'll come at some point in the future. But till then, we'll see you later. K-Pop Demon Hunters, and they even decided to move up the end of Fortnite OG Season 5 a day so that it will all come out tomorrow. So, hey, Fortnitemares tomorrow! See you there!